Up, two, down, right, left. Up, down, right, left, middle. 1, 2, 3. All right. Very good. I was like, went upstairs, I knew I had to incorporate that. I saw the schedule. I was like, they're gonna be sitting on their butts too long. And this is a holistic wellness event. And if you leave out movement, you might as well just be spirits. Right? We're in the body, and the body gets activated when we move it. So, all right, let me make sure I am technically integrated with what I have to say. All right. So the impact, so let me introduce myself, Coach Trey. As someone asks, people ask me from time to time, why do you go by Coach Trey? I'm a relationship counselor, or I go by relationship strategist and spiritual healer. Because I like that term. I work with families, and a lot of times, usually I'll work with the women, and then they'll say, well, you should talk to my husband. Usually they want me to fix their man, right? You should fix him. And because of the lack of skills and training for most men to be able to articulate and express our emotions, that coach sort of gives it a neutralizing openness to just being like, and I'm not a therapist, but it's like usually there's a little bit of resistance, but there's less because we're all sort of going through this game of life. So coach, when you go to the original definition, it just means it was like a carriage, to carry someone over from one side to the other. And so over the years, my personal journey of just basically having this insatiable curiosity to understand pain and suffering, first in my own family. I was born in Little Rock, Arkansas, but I was raised in the country. I mean, farmland. I mean, we were eating organic before it was a popular thing. But yet and still, I was still noticing some deep imbalances in health with my own family. So I remember just having this idea, this goal, like, man, one day I want to be able to help my family be healthier and not suffer from some of the common ailments. And honestly, my education was nothing I was ever really seeking after. I was seeking answers. And so I would research things. I go, okay, well, this person is hurting or suffering. Let me see if I can find what could help. And then I find it, but I can't get all the information until I go take the course or until I read that book, just really go in deep. And so I always say my knowledge was guided by solutions. I didn't really know what I wanted to do or learn. I mean, I started wanting to be a firefighter. So either way, I knew I was trying to get people out of the burning building, right? Either way. So that just gives you a little bit. So when I got into like energy medicine, I started with Reiki, I wanted to be a physical therapist because like, okay, I really understood the physical body and how pain and the patterns of pain. And I could look at someone now to the point where I could see if they have a problem in their shoulder and tell that it's coming from the right big toe and trace that whole thing to the source. So I realized knowing the root cause is critical to having a positive chain reaction to getting to the solution. And then you have so you have that positive chain reaction from the negative chain reaction. So you got to push that first domino to get people where they need to be. So what I want to start off is asking, I ask this to all my clients, what's the good news? And usually, right, when people call me, they're dumping, they're ready to dump. They're ready to say, oh my gosh, my husband said this and he didn't do this, and my son, my daughter, blah, blah, blah. They run a dump, and the first thing I'm asking, but what's the good news? Because I learned that when you ask that question, the human mind cannot pay attention to, you can't be in one state of just pure negative thinking and patterns and then also have positive. So usually you have to switch from one to the other. So if I ask what's the good news, what I'm asking for is, what can you acknowledge or appreciate that is happening simultaneously with what is not working or what you want to be better? Because it's always available. It just depends on where the camera is pointed, right? So I'm gonna ask 3 people so you can kick us off, and then everybody else just kind of internally, you can even use today. If you don't think you have any good news, then how did you get here? When you sat up in the bed. That's the first piece of good news when you look down like, okay. I mean, whether it was squeaking or popping, it was good news, right? So let's go, ma'am. What's your name?
Maricela.
Maricela. What's the good news?
The goodness of God in my life.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. I sometimes tell my clients to make a good news sandwich before you tell me all the things that are not working. All right, let's see. Let's go. Right here in the pink shirt, what's the good news, my brother? What's your name?
Jeff.
Jeff, what's the good news?
We made it here.
We made it here. It's that simple. When I ask people, they're like, I have this one client, I've been working with her for years. I'm actually a regular contributor on Channel 8 for Good Morning Texas. And Jamie Gary is one of my clients. That's how she started inviting me on, and then the people from the station started calling me on their own. But I said, I would ask her, at the time she was in an intense situation. She was like, why you got it? I said, no, we can't start until you tell me something good. And she would have the hardest time trying to think of what's good. But that simplicity of just, I'm here. I'm here. Let's see. So I'm very energetically sensitive, so I can feel everybody. So just know I'm calling you because your heart is saying something. What's your name in the yellow jacket? Yes. Mary, what's the good news?
The good news is that everyone in this room is gathered here to learn about their health and their life to make it better for them and hopefully their family and friends.
Beautiful. We can make that the banner for the event. That's the good news. So let's move on. Now, as we've all started to learn, and I mean, I almost wanted to add some stuff to my presentation from what I've been listening to today, because it is amazing where we are at this point in time to have this many people here gathered to challenge our programmed and conditioned beliefs around how we take care of ourselves and how we live longer. This is incredible. And some stuff is some hard things to hear. Why? Because we all need to feel certain. We all want to know that like the people that we're putting our trust in is doing the right thing, because we don't have all the lab tech and we don't know all those big words and we don't know all that stuff. So you really just want to trust that the people that are in charge are doing what they're supposed to do, and it breaks your heart. It breaks your heart when you find out, no, it's not quite that way. They're doing some wordplay. But what's powerful is that you got this Dr. Artist, you got Brother Chris, and this brother I met I'm getting goosebumps because I'm hearing this warrior side of it. Honestly, this is a battlefield. This is a battlefield for your life. And it used to be with sticks and clubs and knives and arrows and all that, but now it's with information, it's with your mind. And so we are warriors. Yeah, it's like we're trying to come subtle and tone, but we're actually warriors because they're not going to give this up for free. You're making a lot of money. It's a lot of power that you get when you can manipulate people and you know it. That's a whole narcissistic plan. So to challenge that, yes, you're going to get gaslit. Yes, you're going to get manipulated. Yes, you're going to get shot down. Yes, you're going to be made fun of. Yes, you're going to get marginalized. Yes, you may even lose your life. To put out information from pure love. Love is not a weak thing. It takes a powerful person to love. It's easy to hate. It's easy to go to the lowest feeling. That's easy. That's default. Gravity. If I just let go, boom, I hit the ground. That's not anything for me to do that. It's not that hard to go into your lowest emotions. Fear is not hard. When to rise it up, you got to have some resistance. So we know that emotions and health, that there is a connection between these unprocessed feelings And if we repress this stuff, and because most of us are not taught in our society how to deal with trauma and things that happen to us when we're at an age where we're powerless to do anything about it. So I'm gonna give a demonstration, and I teach this because I understood the physical body and how there's what they call a cumulative injury cycle. Y'all watch this. So I'm walking along. So we call that demonstration A. Man. Okay, that's A. Just walking along. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm having a good day. I'm fine. That's demonstration B. Which one was the strongest reaction? Which reaction was showing my strength, and which one was showing my weakness? Somebody raise a hand, huh? B, I was being stronger? Who else says B? Raise your hand if you say B was my strongest reaction, where I was showing strength. Okay? And A, well, who says A? Oh, I love this. So beautiful. Now, I want y'all to really think about that. I hurt myself. That was consistent with both demonstrations. I got injured. The only difference was, now to my nervous system, didn't know any difference whether I my body still went through the threat response. My amygdala still got triggered, which deals with your fight, flight, or freeze. So by me holding it in, that didn't take away the trauma that just happened. That was trauma. No, my bone didn't stick out, but that was still trauma. So my system is trying, my brain is like, I don't know what's going on out there, but something happened. And I need to figure out quickly what happened so we know we're safe or the threat is over. So all I did was, the B demonstration was repression. I held it in. And all I'm gonna do, even though I'm in pain, I'm gonna start going, I'm just gonna do is just kind of lean to my right side. And I just keep the weight off of here. And over time, you forget about exactly what happened, and you start to, put all, and then on one day you have pain in your right hip or pain in your right knee. I don't know where this pain come from. All of a sudden, well, your right side took the brunt, took over and started working double shifts to make up for the weakness and the trauma on the left. The left is kind of fine. And you never really properly addressed the issue to restore wholeness, balance. So I'm sorry for y'all who chose B, but that is an indicator of exactly what we're doing in our emotions and our mind. We're fine. Why? Because I survived. And then that's exactly why you can recreate the same pattern, because your brain is like, you haven't resolved the threat. You haven't gotten the information. So the reason why this is critical is because what I teach, I say, now what initially should happen instinctively, you injure yourself, you get injured, you don't really know how. But the first thing is there's an acknowledgement of pain. Then I do what? I'll look at it. Oh, what am I doing? I'm giving attention to my pain. Then I might put my hand over. What am I doing? I'm providing healing and protection. And then I go, I'm looking around. It's like, man, what happened? Oh, I tripped over the piece of carpet that was sticking up. Oh, that's what happened. So now I know in my brain there's no threat that's going to continue. I can start to heal. Because until I find out why or what happened exactly, the threat isn't over. I don't care if you're 13 or 48 or 65, you're still under threat. So your amygdala is running. and it doesn't know the difference. Internally, the system doesn't know that what's triggering. Then the triggers are there to basically create a heightened overreaction to something that hasn't been fully resolved and completely processed. So no, the stronger person that says, yeah, that hurt me, and I want to give it attention. And you assess the damage. I don't know if my bone was sticking out. Well, I'm going to sit there and go, blood all over the place? That's insanity. I'm sorry, that's insanity. And that's what I deal with. I work with people on all spectrums. And I'm the person that everybody comes to when they try everything. So usually there's some humility there by the time they get to me. Sometimes, not all the time. All right. So this is beautiful, right? So studies have indicated the strong connection between repressed emotion, grief, anger, and fear, and the imbalances in the breast tissue that leading to potential disorders. This guy, Gabor Mate, what I appreciate when I talk about people out here, the war that's going on for your mind and for your life, you got people who are putting their credibility, all their titles on the line and saying, look, we're missing it. The Myth of Normal. It's a great book. He's taken the time and done the research to bring forth all of these studies that show that like there's a gap in our overall health spectrum, right? And I mean, these guys are incredible. So, and another lady, Lisa Rankin, she was a doctor. When you hear her story, you can go to YouTube too and see her explain her story, just how her whole family was doctors. So she bought into it. It was like in her DNA to become a doctor. The fact that she had to, because of her authenticity, she's like, I just can't. I can't continue down this path with the knowledge that I know that something's missing. You have, so Lisa Rankin, Mind Message, explores how stress and negative emotions harm the body, while emotional healing aids recovery, underscoring the critical role of emotional health and physical well-being. Now, here are some key indicators that what I want to talk about in relation to this is, so when I work with energy, because my search was like, all right, so I'm able to help people with the physical side, and then I started noticing years ago, I had a couple that I would work with, and they were a beautiful couple, did everything right. The wife, I met them when they were engaged, and then I kept working with them until they got pregnant to have their first child. And I remember that the baby was born stillborn, 6 months, stillborn. And it was so devastating. It was devastating for me because it's like they were just like the perfect, you had to design it out like, wow, watch this couple, they came together, they got married, they just did it all right. They were healthy, they were working out. And this happened. So of course, what's the first thing a mother would do? Blame herself, really searching for a good, credible reason to blame herself. Nothing technically that she could point to that shows that, yeah, I caused this to happen. So of course, I'm devastated for them. And I was like, I gotta find out ways to understand how to help them through this time period because it's hugely traumatizing and emotional. So that's when I realized, all right, so there's something else going on, as well as when I noticed chronic pain. So chronic pain usually has a major component of something on an emotional, psychological, or spiritual plane. And so sometimes the unconscious mind, the subconscious mind is just so fed up. It's like, I can't get your attention. So I'm gonna have to send some pain in your neck. I'm gonna have to make your back hurt. And then you're gonna find, you might start seeking for solutions. That's what the mind will do. The subconscious mind says, I'm tired of trying to get your attention and you're not caring for yourself. I'm gonna have to use something physical that debilitates your day, to interrupt your day. So usually that's what starts to happen. And this is what shows up. Frequent headaches, unexplained fatigue, shallow breathing, emotional numbness, feeling detached. And you begin to identify with it. It's like you'll have a name. What's your name right here, Lynn? Sydney? Susie. Susie, what's your last name? Murphy. Murphy. So then what happens is you've been in pain so long, you'll be Susie, my back hurt Murphy. So the minute someone says, hey, we can help with the back, you just gotta, take your supplements, you gotta change your diet, blah, blah. There'll be a unconscious rejection because you're like, wait a minute, that's my name. Everybody knows my back hurts. Everywhere I go, everybody knows my back hurts. When I go somewhere, they're gonna pull out extra chairs for me. My kids give me a little extra attention. My husband gives I'm not giving up this back pain. Oh, I'm hitting no. So, and look, honestly, some of us are nerds. Chris, we're nerds. Everybody's not gonna look all this stuff up. So I'm just trying to give the bullet points. We love this stuff. It's dessert. 1982, German study linked to breast cancer or the cankers to traits like emotional suppression, rationalization, and conflict avoidance. I'm fine. How you doing today? I'm fine. Okay. But your face looks like it's saying something totally different. Y'all need to have a meeting. You and your face. A British study found higher anger suppression in women with, what do you say, cancerous breast lumps, and compared with those benign tumors. There's a whole study where people look at the correlation between breast health and where the stuff is showing up and how you've been living your life, where you've had this sort of conflict avoidance, where I don't want to upset anyone, being overly pleasing, anxious attachment, all of that stuff, or being overly independent, right? All of that is outside of wholeness. Harvard research, we all know Harvard. See all these big names, what is that for? That's for credibility, so they create an opening in your mind, right? Oh, I may have to listen because they've been established as being important. But sometimes some of this manipulation comes from the same places. So we always have to stay diligent in our discernment. Emotional healing is key to preventing and recovering from breast cancer, as unresolved stress can impact physical health. All right, so here are some reflecting questions. Do I often suppress my feelings of sadness, anger, or stress instead of expressing them? Think about that. Think about the times where you feel like you have done everything you can for your children. Feel like you provided them with what you would have wanted when you grew up. And then they react in a way to certain things that seem like, oh my gosh, they don't have any clue the way I'm hurt and the sacrifices that I've made to give them what I had wished my parents would given me. But you don't say anything. Now you have some kind of response. You might be a little passive aggressive, you might shut down, or you might start overly giving again because that's your go-to for survival. Keep giving, and then eventually they'll know my worth. Keep doing. Have I experienced unresolved emotional pain or trauma, particularly related to nurturing or relationships? Meaning, how difficult it is for me to receive and ask for help. Because I'm just scared to trust. So let me be the giver so I can control and minimize disappointment. Am I holding on to guilt or resentment that I haven't allowed myself to fully process? I'm gonna be honest, because I do this work. I'm in the actual field. What's been coming up as for the last few years that I've been working and really getting to the source, yes, there's father issues. There's usually some issues with the father, but what I've been finding is these resentments still stuck in the back, in the kidneys toward the mother. And sometimes it's not about what she did, it's about what she didn't do. And it's not being expressed and it's not being processed. So people are doing every single thing they can to heal. It's like it's not because you have to satisfy the amygdala, because you can't start healing. You don't go into homeostasis until you know what happened. I deal with some of the most darkest things you couldn't even imagine. So when I'm speaking to you today, I'm telling you things that I know work because I deal with the people who can't find any solutions anywhere. So that's why I have to integrate and understand this we're multidimensional beings. And so sometimes the solution has to come from the plane that it originated on. If it's a physical problem, it's manifesting physically, but it might actually, this plane that it originated on was your mental plane. It was the uncertainty that came up because of what happened. Now, how am I doing on time? Good? Okay, so let me move to this, because I want to show you guys so you have a real life experience of that we are the soul. If anybody doesn't believe that they're the soul, having a physical experience, you shouldn't be here. So I want to hopefully create the understanding that first thing is your energy. You're made up of a biofield. And now scientifically they call it the bioplasmic field, the fourth state of matter. So I have this physical form, but as it vibrates a little faster, there's a subtlety that extends beyond my physical form, and it's called like either the etheric or the bioplasmic field. So I have a complete part that's me that looks just like me, but it's not able to be seen with the naked eye. But some instruments like Kirlian photography, they've been able to have some instruments that pick up this biofield. So what we're going to be doing is what I realize sometimes people are not aware that the thoughts that you have, the emotions you have, actually get stored in your system. And that's how I'm able to sometimes read people intuitively. It's like I'm reading the thought forms. I'm reading your history because you haven't processed it yet. So it's all stuck in your aura. So what I'm going to show you next is how you can all feel exactly what I'm talking about. All right. How many have ever taken any kind of energy work, Reiki, or breath work, meditated? Raise your hand. Okay, cool. So I'm amongst friends. I'm not too weird right now. That's fine if I am. All right. First thing, I need 3 S's. Are you ready to experience something that shifts your perspective about who you really are? Yes. Raise your hand. Yes. Okay. So those with your hand down, know where it's fine. Are you willing to let go of any limiting or hindering beliefs or thoughts about energy or meditation or anything, like just temporarily? You can pick it up when you leave. Yes. Okay, awesome. And it just, are you open to receive healing, a new experience, a new life as it relates to your health? Again, you can pick up later if you don't want to keep it. Okay, so to sensitize the hand, we'll try to do as fast as possible. So, because I want you to feel the energy. Now, first thing is simply, let's place our hands together. Right hand meet left hand, and let's do the Mr. Miyagi. Generating friction, create some energy, some heat. Okay, now take your right thumb on your left hand, and let's do a clockwise, wind it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Same thing, balance. Got to go this way. Clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then let's get our fingertips going. So you're going to, this may be a little hard to do, but just kind of close it in, shake it. If you can get it to pop, there's really cool sound that goes with it. What that does, what we're doing, we're releasing stuck energies in the meridians. If you had acupuncture, all I'm doing is acupuncture without needles. What we're going to do is just feel the energy channels in our hands and activate them so you can feel your own energy field. All right, pump your hands like that. Spirit fingers. Okay. Now, place your right hand above your left, right in front of your navel. And I want you to focus on your navel and the surface of your palms. And you're just going to breathe in through the nose. Hold, breathe out. Breathe in. Hold, breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Now let's change. Have the left above the right. Keep it at the navel. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Okay, now let's face them together. Bring them close. And let's do some more breathing. But now just focus on the surface of your palms as if they had little hair follicles. Just imagine like that's what you're trying to feel for. So breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now start to let them come apart a little bit. And I just want you to rotate your palms. Very subtle. It's like you want to feel the cloud. Keep the breathing in. Hold. Out. Hold. It's called pranic breathing. When you inhale and pause. Exhale and pause. Good. Now, if you're not feeling something, raise your hand. If you're not feeling anything, okay. So now, let's work on our belief structure, because usually when people don't think they're feeling it, it's that they're feeling it. It's just they don't know what to feel for. So let me provide a little context, but I don't want to influence what you're possibly feeling. So some people feel tingling. Some people feel warmth. Some people feel pressure, like it's two magnets and you try to push them together. So how about now?
I feel a tightening in my fingertips right here.
Okay, y'all see that? Because it was outside, it was in the I didn't know that I didn't know area, right? So I had to bring it into, oh, now I know what I don't know, and then now I know what I know, okay? So sometimes you're surrounded by energy, you walk in a room, you're like, something doesn't feel right. Talk to somebody, something wasn't right. I can't tell you, I can't articulate it, but something wasn't right with that person's energy. Or, I don't know what it is, I just feel good in here. Your aura is just picking up all this information, and sometimes we'll say it out loud, right? So, now, since we all are professional healers now, go ahead and hold your palms up like this. So let me just help assist with just a little extra increase. And I just say a little prayer, and I call him the divine supreme source of all light, love, and power. Thank you, thank you, thank you for purifying and cleansing and allowing everyone to have this ability to feel their energy field, to feel energy, to be aware with gratitude, respect, and love, and full faith. Thank you. Anyone notice anything? Maybe just a little quietness internally from that? So now check your hands again and tell me if there's more awareness there. Thumbs up if it is. Okay, good. Excellent. Okay, now watch this. So the two, let's see if I have it on the next slide. No, we did the breathing. Okay, so, all right. Now this is should help you understand why your thoughts and what you say and what you feel are powerful. So what we're gonna do is in the right hand, all you're gonna do is look at that right palm, and you're gonna say the word anger 5 times into your right hand. You don't have to think about something to make you angry. I just want you to say it just as a mechanical statement. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, now compare between the right and left. You may notice something, you may not. This is your first time experiencing this. Anybody notice anything between the right and left? Yes, ma'am.
My right hand is like achy now.
Y'all hear that? She said her right hand hurts and is achy now.
A little bit, it's noticeable.
Just know that's all it takes. Because That wasn't like somebody cut me off on the middle of the road and I'm saying anger, or they took the parking space I was going to get. That's just saying the word. The word by itself has a negative energy. No, keep your hands out. Okay, now on the left hand, I want you to say peaceful 5 times. Go for it. Okay. Or do we have twins, or are they completely 2 different people? Huh? Completely different. How would you describe the difference on the left?
Left is
Smooth. She said the left hand feels smooth. What else? And the right feels what? Heavy. So it's a lower emotion. That's why it literally shows up in the energy world as lower. Okay? Peaceful would be higher, lighter, right? What would you say?
Lighter.
Feels lighter.
And the right is heavier.
Perfect. Anyone else? Somebody in the back. Did you do it? Yep. What would you just say? Heavier on the right, lighter on the left. That's simple. You don't have to go that deep. It's just enough so you can notice black and white, light and dark, heavy, that's it. Okay. Yes. Tingling. Tingling, but a different kind of tingle, not a tingle that hurts. Because some people say with anger, I've heard people say, oh, it feel like I'm prickly. All right, so now, watch this. Since peaceful is a higher frequency, let's do this. Let's see what happens. See which one takes over. Okay, open it back up. What'd you say, Miss Sue?
Peace took over.
Peace took over! Anybody else still feel heaviness on the right?
Both hands tingling.
Both hands tingle, but it's uncomfortable or what?
It's not.
Not uncomfortable. So higher emotions harmonize. Yes, baby. Yes. But you have to acknowledge that there was anger there. You have to acknowledge it. So don't suppress it because you're going to get sick. But once you acknowledge it, you can release it and you can bring in peacefulness, calmness, love, acceptance, right? So, now, this is probably, to me, I think one of the most important, if you ever meditated or not, this is one of the most important beginning practices and to continue to do it. Because enlightenment, essentially, if you heard this term enlightenment, all it is just recognizing that you're not this and you're that. You are the soul. Having this physical experience, driving it around and just like checking everything out and getting information and feedback so you can carry over, so you can get the lesson, so you can be all who you really are authentically, and you can be of service to the world as a whole by being you. But first you got to get you, know you, and know what's not you. That's why it starts out with, I am the mover, I'm not the emotion. Wait, no, I'm not the body at the top, and then it goes to that. So what we can do, if y'all don't mind, if you're up for it, to continue participating, let's recite this together. But first, I want you to get an awareness of your state right now. Notice if you have any discomfort, pain, tension, boredom, frustration. You got other things on your mind you got to get going and get to do. Just tune in real quick. I like to have that experiment. And you don't need to be nice to me. It doesn't matter, because I got me. This is for you. I want you to tune into yourself. I'm like, okay, where am I at? Scale of 1 to 10. All right. Now, first thing we're going to do, since we're doing this together, let's connect. And so we're going to connect through our energy centers. There's a heart center and there's a crown center are the most important, but I like to add in the navel because it deals with more of a earthiness as well. So be aware of your navel so you can touch it to really connect yourself to bringing your attention there. Everybody say, we are one.
We are one.
And just be present. Yeah. Good job, yes. Now let's go to the heart center. And just say, we are one.
We are one.
We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one
go to the crown. You just tap your head and bring your hand back down. I say, we are one. Yes. All right. Stay connected to that highest center. Repeat after me. I am the soul. I'm not the body. I am the mover of the body. I'm not the emotions. I am the feeler of the emotions. I'm not the mind. The mind is a subtle instrument of the soul. I am the soul. A spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am connected in one with my oversoul. I am connected in one with the divine spark within me. I am a child of the divine supreme source. I am connected to all the children of the divine supreme source. Regardless of the limited capacity of the brain to experience the soul, I am the soul. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Just be still. Be aware of you. And let go and release anything that doesn't serve who you are in the wholeness. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Hey, my soul family. Give yourself a hand. Anybody notice a shift that they'd like to share? Anything that they notice? Anyone? We'll have to call on somebody. This is my class, so I'm gonna call on you now. Who's brave enough? Come on. Anyone? You want to share? Oh, yes.
Yeah, just a change in your energy. You can actually feel your energy systems just start to shift.
Yes.
All of a sudden, going from trying to take in everything that's happening, everything you're saying, to it didn't exist.
Yes. He said there was a change in the energy and the shift from, instead of like trying to take in everything, it's like all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah, just shut off.
it just shut off. Did anyone agree with that type of experience?
Yeah.
Or Chris?
Yeah,
Oh,
same.
same thing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So sometimes people try to make this too magical and woo-woo. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Mine was physical. I had like a pain in my neck right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we started talking. And through this experience, it's no longer there right now.
Yeah.
Y'all think she's just making it up for me?
Nope.
Checks in the mail, baby. Thank you. Yeah, it seems weird, but like, the reason why I can trust it because I am a nerd. Like, I research things beyond what most people ever think to look at until I'm satisfied with the answer. So I know I just deal with if it works or not. And if it works, I'm like, man, that worked. I can't deny it. I mean, I can deny it if I want to, but deny it is cheap. You don't have to do anything to deny something. I'll say this, think about all the information you've heard today. Denial is just as naive as being overly optimistic. But for some reason, we give more credibility to someone denying something as if like they did some work. They didn't do any work. They just said it wasn't familiar to them, so it can't be true. Let that go. That's BS. If you really want to find out if somebody's expressing something that's false or made up or woo-woo, whatever, do your legwork. Do your own work. Research it. Prove it wrong. You can deny it all day, but that's cheap. It doesn't cost anything. So, people like us, we find ourselves trying to convince people who haven't burned the midnight oil doing this work, and now we're beyond that. Now it's time. The battlefield is for our minds. So we can't be lazy in our research. If you don't want to do it, then you need to just trust me until you're ready to do it. Trust Chris, trust this brother here, trust a lot of the people who have spent their time, money, energy, and sacrificed time with their families to learn this stuff. Like, okay, cool, you don't want to do it? Well, that's why you're paying me to do it. I'm connected to it, so I really want to help solve problems. So so don't put up the resistance without any substance. That's all we're saying. Deal?
Deal.
Thank you. So that's what I'm offering. I don't want to leave you just with that. So I got a lot of different things that I'm offering, but primarily this relationship alchemy club is really not just about relationships with other people, because it actually starts with the relationship you have with yourself, which you just experienced, your relationship with yourself, after we moved all the other stuff out the way that you thought you were, and you were not. So Relationship Alchemy Club is where I'm basically combining meditation, my emotional intelligence work that I do with people, and I'm putting in the form of elements, right? The 4 elements, and helping you to go from the toxic patterns, which is the lead, and turn it into a golden life, a golden relationship with yourself. Gold is spiritual energy that's been materialized. So I got that. It's gonna be every Wednesday. I think I put 7:30 p.m. and I think I'll skip 1 week or something like that. But basically, it'll be all recorded for all members. Nurturing space to practice emotional healing, rebuild connections. A lot of times, people are amazed when they realize they're not the only one going through the thing. Because when you're going through what you're going through, you think you're the only one. So when you get with other people, like, oh my gosh, they're literally having the same issue that I've been having. So that usually creates a connection, and a lot of people are missing that connection. So personal growth, guided support, community support, like-minded individuals. And my whole goal is really just to be an anchor, to create a container that protects you and allows you to express yourself authentically as a group. Now, if you want to work with me directly, you can also work with me directly, but if you just to start out, if you're open, this is what I'm offering, and then you have a free month to join the club. Let's see. Now, this is such a powerful quote, and I think it really summarizes or encapsulates this whole event. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. Gospel of Thomas comes out the Nag Hammadi text. If you don't know, look that up. If you need to contact me, I got my other website, but this one I just started, TreyIndigo.com, at Coach Trey Bradley. And I really, really appreciate everyone's time and attention and presence. So thank you.